Most people go through life assuming reality is something that happens to them, that circumstances are random, that events are beyond their control, but that belief alone is what keeps them stuck. The truth is, everything around you is responding to the vibration you are putting out, whether you realize it or not. The patterns in your life, the way people treat you, the speed at which things manifest, even the obstacles you face, all of it is a direct mirror of the energy you are radiating. But here's the problem: most people are so caught up in reacting to the external world that they never stop to realize they are the cause. They get stuck in cycles, repeating the same experiences over and over, never understanding that the reason nothing changes is because they haven't changed. Have you ever noticed how certain situations keep showing up in your life, as if you're trapped in a loop? The same types of relationships, the same financial challenges, the same feelings of self-doubt. This is not bad luck. This is your vibration broadcasting a signal, and reality has no choice but to reflect it back to you. The moment you shift your vibration, reality must shift too. It has no other option. But most people never hold a new vibration long enough to see the change. They try for a few days, feel frustrated when things don't instantly shift, and then fall back into their old energy, reinforcing the same patterns. And then they wonder why life isn't different. But here's the real question: if the same experiences keep repeating, what does that say about the frequency you're stuck in? And it doesn't stop there. The way people behave around you is one of the clearest signs of your vibration in action. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt like people were drawn to you, like they could sense something different about you? And then other times you feel invisible, ignored, or even disrespected, even though you didn't say or do anything differently. That's not random. That's vibration. People are not reacting to your words or actions as much as they are reacting to your energy. When you are in a high vibration, when you radiate confidence, certainty, and alignment, people can feel it. They listen more, they respect you more, they respond to you as if you have something important to say.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But the moment you drop into doubt, insecurity, or fear, everything changes. People test you, dismiss you, challenge you, because you are the one sending out the signal that says, "I am unsure," and this is where most people get trapped. They think they need to change how others treat them, but the truth is, they only need to change the way they vibrate. The ones who understand this don't chase respect. They become the kind of person people naturally respect. They don't try to make people notice them. They emit an energy that makes them impossible to ignore. And once you see this for yourself, you realize that social dynamics, success, even attraction, are less about what you do and more about who you are at an energetic level. And then there's time. Most people think time operates the same for everyone, but in reality, time bends based on your vibration. Have you ever had a period in your life where things just flowed? Where you met the right people at the right moment, where opportunities appeared effortlessly, where everything seemed to line up perfectly without struggle? That's what happens when your vibration is aligned. Life speeds up. Things that should have taken years happen in months. What should have taken months happens in days. But the opposite is also true. When you are in a low vibration, when you are stuck in doubt, fear, hesitation, everything slows down. Delays appear. Progress becomes frustratingly slow. It feels like no matter what you do, things just won't move. And what most people don't realize is that this is not random. This is vibration controlling time itself. The ones who experience rapid success, the ones who seem to have things happen effortlessly. They are not working harder. They are simply vibrating at a frequency where things must move fast. And this is where most people get stuck. They think effort creates success, but in reality, alignment does. And you can see this everywhere. There are people who work tirelessly for decades and struggle to make progress, and then there are those who seem to skyrocket in months. The difference is not effort. The difference is vibration. So the real question is, are you vibrating at a frequency where life flows effortlessly? Or are you vibrating at a frequency where everything feels like a struggle? Because if things feel slow, heavy, and frustrating, it's not because reality is against you. It's because you are still tuned into a vibration that makes things move that way. Most people think their vibration is something they consciously control, but the truth is, their energy is being hijacked every single day without them even realizing it. They wake up with good intentions, they try to stay positive, they try to focus on what they want, but by noon, they're exhausted, frustrated, and wondering why everything feels off. This isn't a coincidence. There are invisible forces constantly pulling you back into lower frequencies, keeping you stuck in the same cycles, making sure you never hold a high vibration long enough to actually shift reality. The first and most powerful force is your environment. The people you interact with, the conversations you have, the energy of the spaces you spend time in. Every single one of these is either raising your vibration or draining it. Most people don't realize that their surroundings are shaping their reality more than their intentions. They try to think positive, but they're surrounded by negativity. They try to elevate, but they spend their time in low-frequency environments filled with complaints, gossip, and doubt. And here's the part most people ignore: energy is contagious. If you're constantly around people who are stuck in fear, scarcity, and limitation, it doesn't matter how much you try to raise your vibration, their energy will pull you back down. And it's not just people, your physical environment matters too. Clutter, chaos, noise, even the way your space feels when you walk into it, all of this is either supporting your vibration or lowering it. The ones who shift their reality fast are the ones who become ruthless about their environment. They cut off anything that drains them. They redesign their spaces to reflect their highest self. They surround themselves with energy that keeps them elevated. And this isn't about being harsh. It's about understanding that if your environment is constantly pulling you back into an old vibration, you will never break free. But it goes deeper than that. The second hidden force hijacking your vibration is your subconscious programming. Most people don't realize that their vibration isn't just shaped by what they think consciously. It's controlled by the beliefs running in the background, the ones they don't even question because they've been there for so long. And this is where most people get stuck. They try to affirm abundance, but their subconscious is still wired for lack. They try to step into confidence, but deep down, they still believe they aren't good enough. And because vibration isn't just about what you say, but what you are, reality keeps reflecting those deeper beliefs, no matter how much they try to think differently. And the craziest part, most of these programs weren't even created by them. They were absorbed in childhood, passed down from family, shaped by society, drilled into them by experiences that made them believe they had no control. And this is why most people stay trapped. They try to change their reality by changing their thoughts, but they never rewire the deeper patterns that are dictating their vibration. The ones who break free are the ones who go straight to the source. They identify the limiting beliefs that are running their life. They dismantle them. They replace them with beliefs that align with the reality they want to create. And once they do this, Their vibration shifts instantly, not because they are trying to be positive, but because the frequency they are operating from has changed at the core. And then there's the third force, the one almost no one talks about: emotional residue. Every experience you've ever had has left an imprint on your energy field. The pain you never processed, the disappointments you buried, the fears you ignored, all of it is still there, vibrating beneath the surface, pulling you back into old frequencies without you even realizing it. And this is why so many people struggle to hold a high vibration. They try to move forward, but their energy is still carrying the weight of their past. They try to embody confidence, but the wounds of rejection are still vibrating in their system. They try to attract abundance, but the fear of failure is still stored in their body. And this is why mindset alone isn't enough, because vibration is not just about what you think, it's about what you carry. The ones who shift the fastest are the ones who release the emotional weight they've been holding on to. They don't just try to think positive, they clear the trapped emotions. They let go of the energy that's been looping in their system for years. They free themselves from the frequencies that have been keeping them stuck. And the second they do this, their vibration rises effortlessly. Reality starts responding instantly. Manifestations speed up. People treat them differently. And it's not because they are trying to raise their vibration, it's because they have finally removed everything that was lowering it. And this is where most people fail. They try to build a new reality on top of old energy. They try to step into a new frequency while still carrying the weight of their past. But vibration doesn't work that way. You don't rise by adding more. You rise by letting go. And the real question is, what are you still holding on to that is keeping you from vibrating at the level that matches the reality you want to live in? Because if you don't clear it, it doesn't matter how much you try to change, your vibration will always pull you back to where it has been programmed to be. Most people think change takes time. They believe success is a long process, that healing is slow, that manifestation requires patience. But that belief alone is what keeps them stuck in slow motion. Time doesn't move at a fixed speed, time bends based on your vibration. The reason some people struggle for years while others skyrocket in months isn't because of luck, talent, or effort. It's because they are operating from completely different frequencies. When you vibrate at the level of struggle, time stretches. Everything feels slow, heavy, frustrating. But when you shift into alignment, time collapses. What should have taken years happens in weeks. What should have taken months happens instantly. And most people never experience this because they are still playing by the old rules, believing that effort equals results, that grinding is necessary, that things must take a long time to change. But the ones who shift fast know the truth. Reality doesn't respond to effort, it responds to certainty. When you step into full alignment with the version of you that already has what you want, reality must shift to match it. There is no delay. There is no waiting. The only reason things seem to take time is because most people don't fully commit to the new frequency. They keep checking, doubting, hesitating, slipping back into old energy. And that hesitation alone is what slows everything down. And this is where most people fail. They think they are manifesting, but they are really just waiting. They visualize success, but then they look around to see if anything changed. They affirm abundance, but then they check their bank account and react to what they see. They try to embody confidence, but then they search for validation from others. And this constant checking, this constant looking for proof, is what keeps them stuck in the old reality. The ones who shift fast don't wait for proof. They don't check if it's working. They don't ask if they are doing it right. They decide once, and they never break character. They step into the frequency of already having it, and they stay there no matter what. And because of that, reality bends instantly. People who ignored them suddenly notice them. Opportunities that seemed impossible appear effortlessly. Money flows in ways that make no logical sense. And from the outside it looks like luck, but it was never luck, it was alignment. It was the result of removing every ounce of hesitation, every trace of doubt, every lingering attachment to the old self. And this is why most people never reach this level. They are still negotiating with their limitations. They are still dipping their toes in the water instead of diving in. They are still waiting for reality to shift before they fully commit. And because of that, they stay stuck in the same loops year after year. But then something happens that changes everything. The moment where you stop waiting, stop checking, stop questioning, and fully step into the version of you who already has it. And when you reach this point, reality doesn't shift gradually, it jumps. The old struggles disappear, not because life got easier, but because you are no longer vibrating at the frequency of struggle. The old fears lose their power because they no longer match who you are. The old limitations dissolve because they were only ever real to the version of you that no longer exists. And once you experience this, you will never go back. You will never again wait for things to change before you shift your vibration. You will never again search for proof before you believe. You will never again look at reality the same way, because you will know, with absolute certainty, that it was never something happening to you, it was always something responding to you. And from this moment forward, nothing can stop you, nothing can slow you down, nothing can hold you back, because there is no longer any part of you that is waiting. You are not hoping for the shift. You are the shift. And now reality has no choice but to match you. Most people never break free because they are still living in reaction mode. They wake up every day looking at their life, checking their circumstances, measuring their progress, waiting for something to change before they allow themselves to feel different. And this is exactly why nothing changes. They don't realize that reality is not something they observe, it's something they generate. The ones who shift fast, the ones who collapse time, the ones who seem to defy logic are not waiting for proof. They are not checking if it's working. They have already decided. They step into the energy of the version of themselves who already has it, and they refuse to drop back into the old frequency, no matter what happens around them. And when they do this, reality bends instantly. But most people never reach this point because they are still negotiating with their doubts. They still think they need reassurance. They still believe change has to be gradual. They still assume that if something isn't happening yet, it means it isn't working. And this hesitation alone is what slows everything down. And this is where people get trapped. They try to shift, but then they look around and react to what they see. They try to embody abundance, but then they check their bank account and let it dictate how they feel. They try to hold confidence, but then they receive criticism and shrink back into insecurity. They try to manifest love, but then they notice they are still single and fall back into loneliness. And this constant back and forth, this constant checking, this constant reacting is what keeps them locked in the same cycle. The ones who break out don't play this game. They don't let their current reality dictate their internal state. They hold the energy of the reality they want, even when everything around them suggests nothing has changed. And because of that, everything does change. The money shows up. The opportunities appear. The right people enter their lives. And it all happens, not because they worked harder, not because they forced it, but because they finally stopped contradicting themselves. They finally stopped vibrating between two different versions of reality and fully stepped into the one they actually wanted. And this is the final shift, the moment where you stop letting the external world control your internal state, the moment where you stop reacting and start creating, the moment where you stop waiting for proof and realize you are the proof. And when you reach this place, nothing is the same again. Time bends. Reality reshapes itself in ways that seem impossible to anyone still playing by the old rules. The struggles that once felt permanent disappear overnight, not because life got easier, but because you stopped vibrating at the frequency of struggle. The fears that once controlled you lose all power, not because they weren't real, but because they no longer match who you are. The future that once seemed distant becomes your present, not because you chased it, but because you tuned into the version of you that already had it. And once you experience this, you will never go back. You will never again doubt your ability to shift reality. You will never again wait for signs before you believe. You will never again live as someone hoping for change, because you are the change. And from this moment forward, there is no hesitation, no waiting, no checking, only full alignment with the version of you that already knows it's done. And when you reach this level of certainty, reality has no choice but to match you instantly. Most people think change is something that happens gradually, but that's the biggest illusion keeping them stuck. They wake up every day trying to make progress, trying to improve, trying to move forward, but they don't realize that the version of them who is trying is the same version keeping them exactly where they are. The reason some people make quantum leaps while others take years to see even the smallest progress isn't because of luck, talent, or effort. It's because of identity. The ones who shift fast don't take small steps toward their new reality. They step into it instantly. They don't wait for external proof before they believe. They decide first, and then reality catches up. And this is where most people fail. They think they are manifesting, but they are actually waiting. They say they believe, but they are secretly looking for signs. They visualize success, but they are still identifying as the version of themselves who doesn't have it yet. And because vibration doesn't respond to words, but to being, reality stays the same. The moment you fully commit without hesitation, without checking, without looking back, everything changes instantly. The opportunities, the people, the circumstances, all of it shifts, not because the external world suddenly decided to change, but because you stopped vibrating at the frequency of waiting, hoping, and trying. And this is what most people will never understand. Reality doesn't test you, it reflects you. The obstacles, the delays, the resistance, none of it is happening to you. It's all happening from you. When you step into a new frequency, the old reality doesn't fight back. It just stops matching you. When people say life is testing them, what's actually happening is they are still wavering between two vibrations. They say they are ready for abundance, but the moment an unexpected expense shows up, they react from scarcity. They say they want confidence, but the second someone doubts them, they shrink back into insecurity. And this back and forth is what keeps them stuck. The ones who shift instantly are the ones who stop reacting to the old reality as if it still has power. They understand that the moment they stop feeding energy into what they don't want, it disappears. Not gradually. Instantly. The struggle stops, not because they worked harder, but because they stopped vibrating at the frequency of struggle. The delays end, not because they finally earned success, but because they stopped believing in delay as a real thing. Everything shifts the moment they do, because reality has never been separate from them. It has only ever been a mirror. But here's the part that most people miss. Once you shift, you can never go back. Not because something external is stopping you, but because the old version of you no longer exists. The thoughts, the fears, the limitations that used to hold you back don't even make sense anymore. The version of you that used to struggle to believe is gone. The version of you that used to wait for proof before committing is gone. And what's left is a version of you that doesn't hope reality will change, it knows it already has. And this is why the ones who shift fast never return to their old patterns. Not because they are forcing themselves to stay high vibe, but because they are a different frequency now. And once you reach this level, you realize that the idea of working towards something was always an illusion. You were never working towards success, abundance, confidence, or freedom. You were only ever shifting into the version of you that already had it. And now that you are that version, reality has no choice but to match.